Former One Republic bass player Tim Myers, a Democrat, is running against longtime Republican Congressman Ken Calvert in California's 41st District. The Grammy-nominated musician was in elementary school when Congressman Calvert took office and says it's time for his hometown to send someone new to Washington.
Ken Calvert has been in Washington for 30 years, and all he's done is make himself millions. Status quo isn't working. It's how we ended up here to begin with. We need leaders who are going to stand up and say, enough. I'm Tim Myers, and I'm running for Congress. Because one voice is weak, but a chorus is strong. Let's write a new song for California. Together.
Joining me now is Tim Myers, Democratic congressional candidate in California. Mr. Myers, welcome to the Sunday Show.
Hi, how's it going?
Great. All right. So here's the key question here, Mr. Myers. Why should voters trust another celebrity getting into politics?
You know what? I was born and raised in Corona, California. I grew up working class. My dad's he was a pastor at Harvest Christian Fellowship. And I watched him serve the community. I watched him serve and feed homeless people and serve people in the church. At one point, I was a janitor. At one point, I was a barista. I know what it's like to work hard. And, people right now, they can't afford to buy homes. They can't afford to put gas in their tanks. They can't afford groceries. So I know what it's like to work hard. And I'm so excited to be running in District 41.
So let me ask you the question I just asked Mr. Sage. You are running in a district that President Trump carried by 6 points last year, although in Mr. Calvert's race against Will Rollins, who you see there by math, that's by 3.4 percentage points that Calvert won over Will Rollins. Why do you think that this go round you will be the one to unseat Congressman Calvert?
You know, when I was 8 years old, Ken Calvert became my congressman, and 32 years later, he's still there, and he's made millions of dollars while being in Congress. It's completely ridiculous. The people are fed up. You know, JFK, he once said, you don't choose the time chooses you. And I believe the time has chosen me for this district, and it's chosen us to stand up and fight. And I'm just so excited. I know hands down we're going to flip this seat and we're going to turn it blue.
What's the animating issue for you in this campaign, or animating issues?
Absolutely. I mean, there's a lot, but one of them is things are just completely unaffordable right now. In California, we've seen it, especially I've seen friends and family of mine move to Nashville and Austin. They can't afford to buy a home. They can't afford to put gas in their tanks. They can't afford groceries. Climate change is out of control. We saw the LA wildfires, and San Bernardino County and Riverside County are two of the most polluted counties in the whole country. The American Lung Association has declared them as the most polluted. We have so many things we need to do in the state, but I know we're going to get it done, and I'm so excited. And if you go to timmyersforcongress.com, we need your help. If you can help us flip the seat. There's only a few competitive seats in the whole country, as you know, Jonathan, and this is one of them, and I know we're going to do it. But we need your help.
The NRSC spokesperson who took a pot shot at Nathan Sage also had criticism for you. He says Democrat Tim Myers is everything wrong with today's radical left, a Hollywood liberal trying to fake his way into Riverside County. Since you've announced your candidacy, what have you been hearing from the constituents of Riverside County?
Honestly, the outpouring of love and support has been insane. We posted a video on TikTok, I think, 24 hours ago or 48 hours ago, and it's gotten hundreds of thousands of views literally within 48 hours. People are fired up. They're showing up. There's been protests all over the place. Tomorrow, actually, there's a protest going on at Ken Calvert's office in Palm Desert. It's a really, really, really exciting time right now, and I'm just so excited to be a part of it. And I know we're going to do this. You
mentioned your father. You mentioned your father before. How has he and his example informed your race for Congress and why you want to come here and what you want to do here?
Honestly, my dad is one of the best people I've ever met in my life. He's one of the greatest men I've ever known. Being a pastor, I watched him hold people's hands as they were in the hospital bed. He'd take me out to go feed the homeless, and I saw his life of service. We didn't grow up with money. We didn't have much. I had to mow lawns and work hard to pay and buy my own shoes when I was a kid. But my dad, sacrificed his life for service. And as I'm in the second stage of my life, I've had a really, really successful business and career, but I want to give back in the second stage of my life and help people. And so, this is so important. Ken Calvert literally is doing the opposite of that. He's one of the most corrupt politicians in American history. He's made millions of dollars being in office, and he's been there for 32 years. It's time for change. I know this is the time right now. And, I'm going to be grateful to serve District 41 and actually serve the people, the working class.
And Tim Myers is going to keep my eye on you as well. Tim Myers, candidate for Congress against incumbent Republican Congressman Ken Calvert in California. Thank you very much for coming to the Sunday Show.